Now You Hear Us is a podcast that shares the voices of young people who have experienced displacement. From refugee camps to host communities, we'll be sharing our views, insight, and thoughts on displacement, migration, politics, mental health, identity, friendship, art, and love. Some content discussed in our show may include references to traumatic experiences including war, violence, abuse, sexism, and mental health issues including depression and anxiety. Hello and Happy New Year to all of you Now You Hear Us listeners. I'm Pavi, your host, and we're so happy to welcome in 2021 with you. To kickstart this year, we decided to invite all of you listeners for a sneak peek into a candid brainstorming conversation. Normally, we send our audio in separately, and this is compiled into a podcast episode. But we thought that you, dear listeners, deserve to hear the whole raw process. In saying that, I need to share now that in true raw form, there is some profanity, aka swear words, used throughout this episode. The 4 members of the Youth Advisory Board met via Facebook Messenger video, and I recorded our conversation. Remember, we are 4 young women from Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq who live in Europe now and throughout this podcast. We've never actually met in person. We've all talked via video a handful of times, and the conversations are always very engaging and lively and very reflective of us and what we're experiencing. So we thought, why not let one of these conversations be the actual podcast episode itself? In this episode, we dive in pretty quickly to a topic that honestly has come up each time we've been on a call together. And this is the topic of being a female. We know that our views are influenced by our cultures, families, and our own experiences of fleeing our home countries. And we want to share this with you because it is huge. We have knowledge and insight into what it means to be a female in our home countries. And despite being in Europe now, the fight for our rights continues and affects us in so many ways. We are torn between old and new, between traditions, family, duty, shame, and a deep desire to stand up for ourselves, our sisters, our mothers, and our future daughters. These are our realities, and I don't think that most of the world knows that along with the grief and anguish we have experienced fleeing from our homes, we also carry this burden and this opportunity. So, let's dive in. This is a long one. We hope you gain some insight from this honest and open conversation.
I wanted to say I had an idea. There's something I wanted to talk about. What about talking about those women or young ladies who think that it's so normal to be treated like just, a human that can be controlled, like who she should marry or what should she work, and having someone tells her what to do, what exactly to do, and what not to do. There's a lot of women, a lot of girls that I know. They think that it's so normal to be told what they do in their life. They think it's something that it's not even weird. They don't even talk about it because they don't see how unfair it is to not even have a personality.
So, yeah, this is a very good point. Talking about girls who are like controlled by their family or others. Like, for example, even though I'm getting married, one day, but in community, in our society, you have to be controlled by your husband, because this shows
exactly.
that the family, the respect, or this show the world, your community. If you didn't be do what he say, so you will be you are ashamed, So this is a very good point to talk about. Yeah.
Exactly. We need to talk from those young ladies. Who 17, 16, 15 years old girls who are getting engaged in this age, and nobody tells them what's coming after that. Nobody tells them what's actually going on. They just think that marriage is a happy step in this life. It's not. Nobody tells them the truth. Nobody tells them that it's a really big responsibility on someone that doesn't even know how to live alone.
Yeah.
Yes, Parisa.
So I believe this is something that has been going on for thousands of years. I don't know who was the first man or who was the first woman in history who played this game. And they were just treated badly. And so they were treated badly, poorly. And they came to believe that, this is just what being a woman is. And the fact that, this whole belief existed and it still exists, that a man can turn a girl into a woman by just having sex with her, which is completely denied by science even nowadays, that a woman is born a woman and is gonna die a woman. So no man on this earth has the power, the ability to turn a girl into a woman. And I agree with you on what you said about the fact that, not a lot of information exists for those women, girls out there to know what's gonna happen to them next. So talking about your life, what's your perspective on life and what you did, and you're an example of a strong woman who's fighting for her life. So, it's not only about changing it, because we're not able to change people's life, but it's about the inspiration as well.
The whole point here is to show people that, look, we all thought that Europe and, Europe was not like this. We all thought that it's just Middle East. No. Just watch the old movies and everything, right? You see that everybody, every woman on earth was controlled by a man, either a brother or a father, an uncle if the father is not there, or a husband, or even the boyfriend was able to control this woman just because he exists in her life,
Right.
We should show people that we have the ability to change also. Europe changed, we can change too. We can change to the better. We're not saying that we should disrespect men because they can't control us. No, it's just about respecting ourselves too. It's not just about men. It's not so. I thought that, at least when I was a kid, that having a man in my life makes me feel safe, but it's completely the opposite. When our men treat us like this, it's so unsafe for us because I feel like this is the right way to be safe, to be protected. It's not the right way. We learn that being controlled is protect, but this is not protect. This is so unright for us as human being, not as women, not as men, just as human being. But a lot of girls till now, till this day, think that they cannot choose for themselves, they cannot talk for themselves, like they can even protect themselves, We need to change that. We need to show them that they are capable of protecting themselves. We need to show them that they can be strong. And I am so mad about this. Yes.
How do you think we can do that?
Alright, it's going to be so difficult because we cannot change someone's mind that easily, especially because when you talk in front of them, in the end, it doesn't matter how they agree with you, in the end of the day, they will go back home and live with the same people who raised them and put all this bad and wrong information in their heads. It's going to be so difficult, but we need to show them that we are living in the same situation and we are trying to change and we are trying to survive and we are trying to make it different, We need to show them that we are in the same situation as they. We can talk about our problems. We can talk about how we're trying to move on, how we're trying to change. Maybe that can help. I don't know. I tried with some girls. Can I tell the story, or if you're bored already?
Go ahead.
Okay. In the German class, I had a girl, a friend in the class who was 16 years old then. We after 5 months for us together, we kept talking about marriage and so on. I was the oldest one in the class, and I was like, I will never get married until I'm done with my education, my work, and until I know that I'm completely ready for being married. Completely. Emotionally, everything. And she was so agreed with me. I was so happy that she is actually listening to me. But after few months, after we took 2 weeks break from school, it was a holiday, I guess. After 2 weeks free, she came back and she got engaged. After just 2 weeks of not being with us. She was with her parents and everything. She got engaged, and after that, it wasn't even a year. 2 months after getting engaged, she got married at the age 17, and she had a kid at the same age. Now she's married, and she thinks that she's so happy. She actually thinks that she's the luckiest girl on earth because she has a husband that loves her and a kid, and she's living with her husband's family. And she's still minor. She is still minor.
That is not legal to do. That is not legal.
Of course it's not.
Men are not necessity. And the problem started when they became necessity, and we felt protected with them. We felt good just because we've been taught that having a husband and serving your husband and raising kids, it's all a woman can do.
Sure.
And better for her to do a good job on that specific, level of her life. Obviously, these are wrong. There are a lot of wrong things going on. And wrong things. Child abuse is not legal, is not, I can't even believe a human being can do such a thing to their own kids. And this is child abuse, because she's still a minor. But look how people are living just as your neighbor, and you don't even know what's going on inside their houses. You don't know what they're doing. And there's nobody to go to talk to make something happen, to change something about that wrong stuff going on. So what can we do about it, you think? Talking to these people, it's great. They don't have enough information. They don't know their value. Obviously they don't. And I believe talking, as you said, talking about our life and our experiences and how to defend ourselves as a woman. What is our rights? What are we here for? And these information can help people just because they're hearing from another woman going through the same thing. I believe it can help people, because you can find all of these information in Google by a second, but it doesn't affect people that much to do something, to make a decision, to live that life, to not get married at the age 16, 17, to go to somebody. Because most right things to do against this kind of stuff, it's taboo, it's bad, it's shame. We've been taught that not listening to your parents and do not getting married with who they want, it's a shame. And we don't want to be ashamed. We want our parents to love us. But this love is wrong, obviously. But this is just heartbreaking. I've seen a lot of people doing that. I've seen a lot of people. And this is something that is not only in Middle East, is not only in our countries. People are having this forced marriage in USA even. It's something that is going on around the world in 2021, and nobody's talking about it. We have all these bloggers, beauty bloggers, they talk about everything except talking about what's going on and what's happening to women. So it makes me so angry and sad at the same time. Well, I feel powerless on not being able to change something. And when somebody has a platform, millions of people listening to her, following her life, she's not saying anything. And she's a woman. So if we women are not gonna help each other out, a man would do that? Obviously not. This is how they control us. By teaching us what's gonna make us ashamed. What's gonna happen next? You're gonna lose your family, you're gonna be alone. They're afraid of living alone even. People are afraid of being alone and having their own houses. Just because they don't feel safe. And it doesn't make any sense. It's insane, but it's true.
So what you both say, it's I'm with you, definitely. But comparing our life in Syria and now, our life I don't know, for 14 years, we see, if we look back, we will see so many different things about our society and community. We can't change. And personally, if we talk about these stuff and somebody in Iraq and Syria, they hear about this podcast, there's a bullshit. This is bullshit. They because they, how can I guess, they grow up like this. They don't have other choice. But we came to different places. We saw different people. We knew that even if you are 18, if you are 20, is not the right age to get married. So, and especially the girls from Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq, everywhere, I believe they have like so many things, if they are all of them, they have like so many thoughts. They want to fight. They don't want, they don't want to be. They want to finish their education. I believe all of them. They are like capable of doing so many things, not just get married and have children, be a wife. But I don't believe like there is someone who is talking, who is like talking about this stuff. Because if for me, if I talk about this stuff, not getting married is bad. It's not bad. It's their choice. But we believe that there's like so many other things they are capable of doing instead of like getting married in a early age. Go ahead.
I know what you mean, Asifa. I know that you can't change a whole, country's mind. Like you cannot do this because this is how they grew up, like you said, and this is how they've been learning from their fathers and even ancestors. Like this has been there for a very long time, and this is exactly the problem. That it is since forever. Like you can't even remember when was when did it start. Nobody can remember this. Who the fuck said a woman should be married at the age 15, 14, and so on? Did you know that the actual thing about this is when a woman gets her period, she gets married. This was the thing. This is when it all started. It's about a woman's period. Who the fuck said that? We don't know. Do you know that? You don't. When I don't know who said this shit, when I don't know where this bullshit came from, why should I follow it? Why should I believe in it? Why should a 15 years old woman or girl be in a be in a place that she should get married with someone she has never even met? And even if it's her choice, even if she said, I am ready to get married, I love this person, I am going to get married, her parents should be like, you are too young to get married. The parents should be like, no, young lady, you're not getting married at this age. You have a lot of time to you still have a lot of things to learn about. It's not just about having sex and having birth, They should understand that marriage is more than that. It's two people living together at the same house and they don't even know shit about each other. How can this be normal? I don't understand it. And about what you said, that people are left, like there's a lot of people still in Syria and Afghanistan and all these countries, and that we are here. There is no difference where you are. I am here. I'm in Germany. And do you see how much I talk? I talk in the same way in front of my parents. And do you know how much problems I have in my life because of that? Do you know that they have not changed even a bit? Even though I talk every day, I share all these thoughts with them, even though I know my father is going to fuck my life after that. I know that I'm going to have a huge problem, a huge fight with my father after this conversation. And I still do it. Nothing changed. I know that nothing is going to change. I cannot change my father's mind. I cannot tell him that I am not something that you can sell, or I am not something that you can do whatever you want because you can choose for me what I want, what I have to do, just because you're my father. I cannot tell him that he cannot do this. When you ask my father, I am the bad guy here. I am the person who doesn't respect, who doesn't appreciate that, I don't appreciate my parents, if you ask my father. But does he really know what's happening? Does he even listen to me when I talk all these things? out. He doesn't. I'm not going to. And now we're talking not for my father and your father. We're talking for my sister, for my cousin, for my daughter in the future. This is who I'm talking for, Asifa. We're not talking for those old people or those closed-minded people or those people who are even trying to change. I will never talk for them because you know what's happening and you like it. You like all this unfairness, like all this things that's going around. If you like those, then it's your choice. But there's a lot of people that don't like it, Asifa, even in Syria. There's people that like, there are women, there are girls that when I talk in front of them like this, they'll be looking at me like I'm a whore or something, you know?
Haters gonna hate.
Like this.
Let them hate.
Exactly, like there are women are worse than men.
Yeah.
And I've seen them and I've heard them talking. But I'm not talking for them. I'm talking for a girl who cannot talk for herself, who has thought of all of these things in her mind and cannot and don't dare to talk about them. Because she's afraid, because she knows that if she talks, she's getting into troubles. She should know that troubles is to get into the trouble. That this is just the start.
Yeah. So your point is to show the girls that it's okay to choose whatever they see is right for themselves. Even though if they love somebody, they want to get to marry for them, they have their
exactly.
They have their rights. Even though they are, I don't know what age, like 18. If they say they told their parents, this is the man of I want to be with this man. This is my choice, and I will face the consequences after I be in that situation. So this is my choice. And even though this is a very sensitive thing to face, because parents they don't give choices to their friends, to their children. And I don't know, but so many of them, they don't trust their, they are capable of doing so much. They are responsible for doing things for themselves. They say, no, I have to protect her. But this is not the this doesn't mean that you protect somebody, you control them, you being the leader of like telling her the direction. You have to go right, then left, and then right. No, you have to let her go and see and be on her own. And
exactly, like even it's okay to tell someone your mind. It's okay to tell someone how you think or where you've been. Like I can tell you that I've been there before and I know how it is. So be careful. But I cannot force you to not go there because I was there and I didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what our parents are doing. They think just because they've been there, that means I'm gonna get through the same situation. Just because they did it. No. I may choose something else. I may live it differently. And even if you didn't like it, I may like it. You never know. But they cannot, they think that just because they brought us, so they are responsible on every single step we make. And this is where they should know that it's not like this.
Yeah. And the most worst in this story, with the most difficult part in this story is, even though in our families boys treated differently. If boy says, I want this girl to marry, I want to be an engineer, I want to complete my school, I want to travel alone, I want to live on my own, they wouldn't say to boys, no, you can't because you are a boy. Because he's free, he can do anything. And even though he I don't know what age it is, but it's okay for them to do anything. But when you say, no, you are a girl, you can't do this.
I mean, well, I still hear this word. You say, okay, we are in 2021 now. There is no way still people talk about a girl, being a girl and being a man. But no, they still talk about it and they still point on it and they still think that way. Like, I'm gonna tell you this. My parents, like a guy wanted to come and meet me. So, because he's looking for a girl to marry. Can you imagine that? He doesn't even know my name. He hasn't even seen a picture of me. He has just heard that in this house there is a girl who is 22 and still didn't get married. So, he decided to come here because, there's no girls in Kurdish, at least. Anyways, I heard of this story and I was like, I'm not that crazy to come and meet a guy that I've never heard of his name before. And like, if he says that I want to get to know her, I may respect him because he wants actually to get to know me, wants to meet me, But no, he wants to get married. And that's it. He's looking for a girl to get married with her. He's not looking for a girl to get to know her. This is the point of it. I got creative. I was like, no way. I'm not a cheap, I am not an animal. I'm not something for sale, People cannot just walk in and be like, hey, we need to see your daughter. I said no, and that's it. I went to work and everything. I came back and they say they're coming tomorrow to visit us. They didn't even ask me. They didn't even ask me if I want to see them tomorrow. If I even have any other plans, I was so mad that I couldn't even say a word. I couldn't even say no because I didn't even know where to start. I don't know, how could parents do this to their daughter? How can, you don't even care about my opinion about something that is gonna happen to me? I woke up in the morning, they're like, wake up, they're here. And I'm like, dude, I can't even put it together anymore. I cannot. Where should I start? Seriously. That my parents are trying to get rid of me, or that the guy is sitting on our couch waiting for me to go and serve coffee and look at me from my head to my fucking food to know if I'm good enough for him. No matter how good the guy is, no matter how good your parents are, you cannot imagine yourself in this situation being measured by someone to know if you're good enough to be their wives. This is just so disrespect for you as a person, as a human. I was completely, in a really dark place. And I'm still there. And I still feel so bad. And I still cannot sleep. I still feel like I was just there to be sold. Do you know how much I hate my parents right now? You'll never understand. If I tell someone that I hate my parents, they'd be like, what a fucking daughter you are. You know, like, if I have you as a daughter, I will be so pissed. People actually told me this because I feel so upset. I feel so sorry for myself. I am even here, that I'm even leaving, you know. I really do feel sorry for myself. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have been there. I should have been born at the first place, because why would God, like, put me in this, like, make me get born and live and have a healthy body and everything, but then give me such a tragedy like this to live? Why is this happening? Can you even ask yourself? Can you even get rid of this? You cannot. I can talk for myself. I can stand up for myself. I can speak up for myself, and I can fight for myself. But I can't imagine a girl who is shy, who is scared enough to take coffee for these people and not say no. I am so worried about those people, those girls. Like, those are supposed to be the next generation's parents. You know what I mean? If she gets married at the age 15, 18, and she doesn't even know that it's wrong to get married in this way, she will raise her children the same way, and she will show them that it's normal to be sad. And this is what I'm worried about. I don't want that much. We need a healthy community. That's enough. Like, it is enough crying. It's enough to be disappointed from every single thing. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show people that this is sick. This is not normal. That's it. Stop looking at me like this.
Okay. I am so sorry to hear that, but that is the truth. That is the fact of our lives right now. And we see that happen, and we cannot do anything about it just because we are another woman living in another household who's gonna be sold. And obviously that is not gonna happen to none of us here, hopefully. You guys gonna stand for yourself. You better do, okay? That is not gonna happen to you. But it's just so heart-wrenching that, like, you're talking about a 15-year-old. People are getting married at the age 9. That's a fucking child abuse. At the age of 9, she's a kid. She doesn't even understand that, like, what's being married. She thinks she's gonna play, you know, dolls, toys, kids are toy, and the husband just gonna spoil her with what? That isn't love. I can't even get emotional anymore when it comes to these kind of situations, because still feeling emotion while you're living with these kind of people, it's on another level that I don't see myself there. And right, this is another wrong thing that is going on, and it should be stopped. We need a healthy community. We need a healthy society. We need a healthy planet. I'm not only talking about women right now. I'm talking about every human being out there, because men are treated poorly, women are treated poorly. It's not about being human anymore. You know, it's about your financial situation. How much money do you have in your pocket? What you're doing for a job? And people are being born in rich families, and they have a completely different mindset about people, different categories and different kind of people. So you respect them as much as their financial situation allows, which is fucked up. How can someone's brain work like this? But it does. So we as a women are treated way more poorly than men, at least. But I know men getting killed in my country, in a lot of different countries, for their just sexuality. Something that they didn't even had a choice on. They're getting killed, executed. And nobody's talking about that. We're just used to of hearing these kind of things and be like, oh, you know, my mom would be like, not my mom, but like, my aunt would be like, oh, someone's daughter at the age of 15 got married? Congratulations. That's it. We're used to of seeing horrible news happening to real human alive being and just ignore it. People are getting killed, executed, ignore it. It seems like they think if they ignore it, it's gonna be solved. Like, we don't have any problem anymore. It's accepted by us. We're doing that like every single day. I mean, not all of us, but most people. Go ahead.
It's not ignoring.
It's ignoring people's existence.
Getting married. Look, girl getting married at the age 15, and the person said, "Yeah, congrats." This is not ignoring. It's normal in their head. Do you know what ignoring is? Me and you ignoring it. Me seeing that my friend getting married at the age 17 and having a kid and not doing shit about it. This is
why didn't you call the police then?
About it, this is ignoring. But when my mom hears that my cousin in Sweden got engaged and she's way younger than me, she's a minor too, and she calls them with a fucking smile on her face and says, congrats, I hope that everything goes well. I hope that they live a healthy, happy life together. This is not ignoring. This is fucking sickness. What kind of happy life are you talking about? They don't even know each other. This is when they get to know each other. And when they get married. If you ask a fucking old man, like old men should be who you go and take and ask for which way should I go? You ask them, which way should I go? Which way is the right way for me to go to be happy, to be saved? But you know what our men say? Our old men be like, the true love begins after marriage. What the fuck is that? What do you mean? Why do you think they say that? So people stop knowing each other, stop meeting each other, stop that love story, and get married right away. Because this is how love begins. I feel so sorry for my cousin. She's getting married soon. And I'm definitely not going to her wedding because this is a crime. It's not a wedding. Exactly. This is literally a crime.
Exactly. It is. They were born in this kind of societies and they just saw people getting married at the age of 14 since they were a kid. What do you expect in our old man to say?
Me and you too. I was born in this community too. You as well. But we chose to open our eyes. Chose to hear our inner thoughts, Yeah. I hear myself talking. I believe in myself, and I believe that when I don't want something, that means I don't want it, and that's it. I don't have to tell people why or how or what do I want instead of this. That's it. I don't want this. I don't feel uncomfortable with it. I don't feel like this is me. I don't believe how some people just ignore the fact that they have feelings, and these feelings are right. When you feel something, this is what you want. This feeling is what exactly you want. How do people ignore that? How can you ignore the fact that there is something inside you telling you that this is good for you and this is not? This is your voice, not what your parents tell you, not what your community force you to do. Hear your own voice first, and then hear people talking. you will see the big difference between you and what your neighbor think, or even what your sister think. I am a different person than my sister is. She doesn't think like I do at all. But she still has her own personality, and I do have my own personality. We don't have to force each other on what we believe in. She doesn't have to believe in what I do just because I'm older than her. I cannot force her. But a lot of people do force me. My aunts, my uncles, my mom, my father, even my young brother. Just because he's taller than me, he thinks that he's stronger than me, so he can force me on stuff that he wants. Just because he's a man.
That is toxic.
How can I accept such a thing like this? My younger brother comes and tells me not to sleep over, like sleep in my friend's place just because I'm a woman. Just because something may happen. Like what? Why? Just tell me what can happen in someone else's house. They live their own life every day too. It's not like just because I'm there something can happen. They believe in stuff that don't even exist. And they make us believe in it too. So we believe, and that's it.
We don't believe it. We kind of agree on that just because we don't have the power to change anything at the same, like on that specific time. But we don't believe in that. You've been through a lot. Do you, like...
I don't even agree.
But like, no, we kind of have to agree to live with them. So you have to listen to them every day, whatever they say, whatever they do. You have to watch them and listen to them. Maybe you can say something about it, but still you're living in their house. It's your parents' house, but it feels someone that you don't even know anymore.
Honey, they don't even... You say you listen to them, but they don't even discuss. They don't even let you talk. They tell you what they think, and you have to hear, and then you go to your room. They don't even talk to you. They talk so you hear, and that's it.
That's it, right? That's it. That's what they do. They don't ask your opinion on anything. They just decide and they're just letting you know.
We understand you so well, what you are going through and what you are facing. We personally don't have this situation, but we understand so very well because this is happening. This is happening to our cousin. This is show that you are not silent about this. You are fighting. And you are, your story, through your story, you are showing other girls in your age that it's okay to choose whatever they want. And it's okay to fight. So, it helps, every time I listen to you and about, your story with your parents, and it's so hard. But you telling us this story, when you speak, I feel you. I really listen to you. I got, I feel the same way you feel, because it's the way you say, the way you talking about about your problems, your struggles. It's very powerful, and you are in the right way, and you are so powerful, and you have a very beautiful soul. You are amazing. I'm very happy. If every time, if this is the second time I listen to your conversation, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that you exist, and you've been through a lot, and you don't keep silent. You don't say, "Oh, okay, it's never mind." No, you make it such a big deal, and you didn't endure this crime against any woman in this world. And this made me feel happy to just talk to you and listen to your conversation.
Thank you for that. That's so kind of you.
You're welcome. Yeah, really, seriously.
Don't give up and fight for your rights. You are absolutely right, and I am so happy that I met you. I know I can feel what you are feeling exactly because it happened. This story happened with a lot of friends of me, with a lot of cousins of me, 4 or 3 cousins. So just don't give up. We are proud of you. Don't give up. You're strong. Just keep going and don't give up. Really, I'm so proud of you.
I feel like it's all about me right now. Oh my god.
The positivity in Hadaya, it's non-stoppable, and that is great.
No. Hadaya. All right, ladies. Thanks for all these beautiful words, and it's just a small part of what's really happening in the world. What we have to talk about now, it's nothing when you compare it to what's actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
Facts.
So, even if we cannot really do something about it, something touchable, talking and letting people and letting those minors hear us, you don't know, it will make them, maybe they will feel stronger and they will feel like they can actually fight, and maybe they will feel that it's just bullshit. I don't know. You never know what people think. You never know how people think, actually.
Exactly.
But
the most But the most important things that you share, you want to say what you are believing, what you see it's right for yourself and for others. Yes.
I just want them to know that it is totally okay to think differently, to live differently, love differently. It's so okay.
Thank you for joining us today and for taking the time to listen and to hear us. Now You Hear Us is made with the support of Amplifying Sanctuary Voices, a community-based oral history project centering the stories of Bay Area residents who have come to the US seeking sanctuary. Check them out by clicking on the link below. The photo used for this episode was taken by Asifa. Editing and production of this podcast was done by both the co-founder of Youth UnMuted, Daphne Morgan, and a new addition to the team, Tara Acharya.